Welcome to the 349th episode of the Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we'll be talking about it. Today we are recording on August 13th, 2023. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and I'm also 50% of this here show. With me is the man who is our in-house linguistic researcher, Carlos Rodella.
Wait, am I?
Yeah, you just did a ton of research.
Oh, I guess I did.
You did.
Yeah. Okay, that's me.
That's you, linguistic researcher Carlos Rodella. Unexpected linguistic researcher.
Yeah. For what are the games we're going to be talking about on the show?
Exactly. Okay, cool. Moving on, folks. It's been a while since Carlos was here. Welcome back, Carlos.
Thank you. A while. Was it just 1 week or two?
I think it was 2 weeks.
Wow, it has been a while.
Yeah, it has been. How's things going in the jungle there?
Yeah, I was lost is what happened. That's probably why. Yeah, I didn't know.
Crawled your way back to civilization just in time for the podcast.
Yeah, it turns out when your phone goes dead, it's really hard to find, like, your way.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, dude, because we all use our phones for, like, finding, directions and GPS and map and stuff. But, man, I'm old enough to remember before phones existed.
Yeah.
Way back in the day, I was doing a lot of driving. And how did we get around back then? Motherfucking paper maps, bro. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Actual map. Like I was a pirate or some shit. Like I'd bust out my paper map and be like, I need to take a left at this road, and I'm going to go up this route for approximately 2 miles, and then I'm going to turn right over. Like, you had to just do it. I didn't have a compass. I didn't use the sun, but I feel like I was kind of like I don't know, some kind of explorer back then. But now, totally different world. Yeah,
explorer's right, because when I drove across country with my friend, Toby, and we took a van and renovated it, and we had put beds in the back. Did I ever tell the story in the podcast?
No, but this sounds like you're about to tell me some kind of wild sexual player journey across America.
It wasn't any player journey at all.
Oh, okay.
Sorry to disappoint.
You can embellish a little bit if you want.
I don't embellish. But anyways, the point is we had this huge book that was a map.
Oh, like a Thomas guide kind of a thing?
Yeah, it was like a tall book.
Yep.
He opened up, and it had all the map of everywhere, and I was like the map guy.
The navigator.
Yeah, I was the navigator, and yeah, it's funny. It's like going back to my native roots. I was like, I know where we are.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So anyways, yeah, I don't miss them, actually. But there was definitely something interesting about doing it that way.
Yeah, for sure. I drove a lot before phones happened. And I just remember like often pulling off to the side of the road, whipping out the map book, looking around for like landmarks and shit. Well, people can't even imagine that these days, dude. They can't. And it's funny because I do wonder if anything ever happens to like our communications network, or for some reason phones stop working or whatever. Like we would have to all like in a heartbeat go back to, wait a minute, how do I get anywhere? It would be really strange and interesting.
But you know what? We'd do it probably quicker than you think. You know what I mean?
I think the old people would. I don't know about the young people. I think they'd have a little bit steeper hill to climb.
Well, they would, but at some point, my point is we would adapt. We're adaptable.
We would have to. We would have to. Anyway, all right. Enough cartography for one show. This is the Video Games podcast. This is about games. It's not about maps, although that is kind of funny. Let's just kick it off. We've got a lot to talk about this episode, and now that Carlos is back, we're going to catch up on everything he's been doing for the last 2 weeks now that he's back from the jungle. Let's start off with some housekeeping, I think. Everybody knows Carlos and I share a virtual living space divided down the middle with a strip of duct tape. His side, my side, things are a mess, and we're tidying up right here, right now. It's housekeeping. Carlos, what do you got on your side of the room this week?
Yeah, a few things. First off, I'm doing a separate channel on TikTok and YouTube. It's called Glitch Through the Ground, and that's really what my jungle adventure has been, partly. Basically creating a bunch of videos of me just playing games wrong, like I do, or just weird.
Okay.
Because I rush through things. I try to get through the walls. I try to glitch through things. I just kind of like break games a lot of times.
It almost sounds like you're a speedrunner looking for exploits there.
I know, but I'm not trying to get like through the game fast. I just like want to do things my way. And lots of times I get frustrated at like, what the developers are trying to have me do, or, all the kind of ropes I have to walk around or whatever. What
hoops
is it?
You have
hoops
to jump through?
Have to jump through, yeah. Or ropes.
I mean, you could put a rope in a circle and it becomes a hoop.
It becomes a hoop, that's right.
There you go.
So anywho, it's been really good. And what's really fun, which we'll talk about on the show at the end, is I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3, and everybody and their mother is playing that game right now.
Yeah.
So a ton of people are checking out my videos for that. and it's been really fun. So check it out on TikTok, Glitch to the Ground, and also on YouTube, but mainly most people are watching me on TikTok. And yeah, it's funny because that game is ridiculous. We'll get to it soon, but check that out.
Excellent. What else you got?
I wanted to say, I don't know if you did on one of your podcasts. I only listened to part of it. Sorry.
Wow.
Paul
the truth
Rubens
comes out. Yes, Paul Rubens. Yes.
Did you mention him on the show?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah, because I just love Pee Wee Herman. I loved growing up with that show.
Didn't everybody? I don't know anybody that doesn't like Pee Wee Herman.
It's so good. It was such a good character. And me as, an entertainer, comedian person, like, that's just a gift when you can find a character that's like, I don't know, everything just comes together. Like, the laughter, the kind of, all the mannerisms Pee Wee had. It was like you could just have him do anything, and it was fun and interesting. And that movie is just so good. Like Tim Burton original movie.
Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Big Adventure is so good.
Still good. I just watched it recently. Still good.
Still good, yeah. And then I don't know if anybody knows this, but they did a kind of a newer movie, the Christmas one, Holiday Adventure or something.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, dude. Oh, my gosh.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. Like it was
Right.
worth watching if you like Pee Wee, for sure.
It's still worth watching because, again, his character is so fun to just watch.
That was the one that had Joe Manganiello in it.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Oh, my God. That was really funny. Yeah.
So anyways, I just wanted to say, I love him and loved his show and everything about, like, that crazy wild world that he created. But I also bring it up because I think I've mentioned this before, but there's a documentary called Beauty is Embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Embarrassing. Yes, it is. And it's about an artist, Wayne White, and he worked with creating a bunch of just awesome stuff, but also the Pee Wee Herman TV show.
Oh, okay. Was he like a visual artist or something?
Yeah, well, and also a sculptor, and made these like papier-mâché huge heads that looked really cool. And you have to go watch that documentary. It's really good.
Oh, okay.
But,
gotcha.
I mean, for sure, Brad, watch it. It's awesome. And also, on top of that, there's a huge section in there about the Pee Wee Herman TV show and how they pulled it off with like very little.
Oh, I bet they were doing
It's
shoestring
so cool.
at first, I'm sure.
Like it's a teeny little spot. Like it seems like it's a big, huge area, but it's this teeny little like place in New York and stuff. So check that out. I want people to check that out.
Awesome. That sounds great. That's a good tip. And very timely as well. All right, cool. What else you got?
One last thing on Diablo. I've definitely stopped playing that. I played Season 1. I actually beat the Season 1 campaign.
Okay.
But there's tons of videos going around. I'm not going to like rehash what everybody's saying on YouTube. But yeah, it just feels weird. Blizzard is Activision Blizzard. And at the end of the day, the TLDR or whatever is that the Activision side, I think, is winning when it comes to like, we just want to make a ton of money.
Gotcha.
And I feel like that's part of the problem with Diablo 4, where, the battle pass is boring. There's a lot of things that they want to try to get you to spend money on, even though you don't have to. And all these kind of like changes that they aren't making, like adding more inventory space, they keep coming up with like excuses of like why they can't have it. It just all feels too bullshitty. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think I'm saying anything new, but I bring it up because A, I've just paused Diablo. I'm not even touching it right now. And then B, like, it's so weird to me, and not the first time I brought this up on the show, but that Microsoft wants them so much. Like, I know they want to print money, right? That's, I think, the core reason why they keep fighting to get this Activision Blizzard, deal done. But, like, they don't have a good face on them right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they have one of the worst. They have that Bobby guy, Kotick or whatever.
Kotick, I think.
Yeah. And then they have this thing with Diablo, which is like, yeah, they made a ton of money at the top, but now people are like bailing to maybe never go back to that game.
Right.
And also feel like slighted by that company again.
Right.
And then recently Diablo 3, which is still going somehow, is just about to like leave like seasons. They're never going to do one again,
Gotcha. Yeah.
And what happened is, this is real quickly important to the story. They just released all the changes that everybody ever wanted in Diablo 3 right before they're going to close it. So that kind of, doesn't it put a signpost on Diablo 4 and say, oh, look, they're going to do that same motherfucking thing to you, where they can't do these changes now, and it's all this weird, complicated stuff, and then when it's over, then they'll give it to you. So fuck them and fuck that idea, and I don't understand what Microsoft wants from them besides, like, I guess it's King and some other like money making things, right?
I mean, it's hard to say, right? Like when it comes to studios, I think that Microsoft has really been inscrutable and kind of just like cryptic and bizarre because they've got a lot of money. They've bought a lot of studios. I mean, they went on a tear for a while. Seemed like they were buying everything, except very little has come of it. It seems like it's like half of them, they're split in half, right? Half of them is like, we love Xbox, we love gaming, we got to buy a new studio, we're going to make some exclusives. They buy them, and then like the corporate side takes over where they're like, okay, wait a minute, we're going to break up this department and we're going to reallocate these assets, we're going to move these people around, and then they just end up like working on, I don't know, like Paint 7.2 or something, and then they just don't do anything with the studios, right?
It's so weird. It's so weird. And also, again, in this industry right now, like how you are perceived by, I would say customers, but gamers, people who want to play your games and buy your stuff is important. And it's also like so easy to be like, wow, that company's canceled now, or whatever. Like it's just the public image is important. And I just think it's so weird that they already have these kind of weird scuffs on their image right now. I think Xbox and Redfall and all that stuff. And then to go for the only company out there that's like got a really bad thing on them,
I don't know. Birds of a feather, I guess. But like a slight tangent on what you're saying. Like I'm with you with everything you're saying here. This all makes perfect sense. And I agree. One of the things that I kind of want to bring up though is I think that it's okay to make a game that you don't have people playing for infinity. Like if you set out to make a game and if your experience is just, this is a badass game, it's really fun, the graphics are great and the music's great and it's a good adventure, you feel good at the end of it, like that's good. And I feel like we're just in this cycle, and I know I've talked about this a million times, but like we're just in this cycle of where every game coming out from a big studio now already comes preloaded with this like, we're going to keep these people playing this game for the next 3 years and we're going to monetize it by 7.2%. And we're going to have this, like, don't do that. Like you're already undercutting the experience of the game. You're already like at loggerheads with, you can't make a forever game and also make a game that has a good beginning, middle, and end and stuff. I mean, think how cool it would have been if Diablo 3 was like, yeah, you finished the campaign, great job. And then, a couple bonus dungeons or whatever. And then they just released like some story-based DLC or something. I mean, that I think would have been fine. Like you don't need to play a game for the rest of your life. You don't need to be married to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you mean Diablo 4?
Yeah. So yeah. Diablo 4. Sorry.
And by the way, and we'll get to it again. So foreshadowing number 2, but that's what Baldur's Gate does. And they're getting like applauded for it.
It does the whole, we don't want to keep you forever thing.
Yeah, no, it's like, gotcha. Hey, pay this price. Here's your game. Bye-bye. Like have 100 hours or more and have some fun, and we'll see you later if you want to,
Yeah. I'm not definitely not saying, you don't have to have like a 6-hour experience. It could be 100 hours, it could be 10 hours, it could be 20, like whatever makes sense for your game. But like, let the player go at some point. Like it's okay to just move on to something else. You don't need to keep them forever.
I'm just saying that's exactly what Larian Studios did with Baldur's Gate, and so it can happen.
Yeah.
It's also a huge discussion on YouTube as well. People are saying like, oh no, like now people are going to expect like this idea that you can just have a fully forged game and it's done, right? And I'm like, oh no, they can expect that? Oh, that's like a good thing for people to expect. Like, studios can do that. But to close this conversation, and I'm glad you brought that up, the last thing about Diablo that's weird, there's many things, but is that like, right before they went into seasons, they did that infamous patch that everybody hated. And one of the things they were going to do before that was they were going to have all the little altars of Lilith, which are like the experience points places on the map, like be covered up again when you went back to a season.
Oh, God. Give me a break, dude.
They didn't because people were so mad, but then they did keep the waypoints like erased. So you had to go find those again.
Yeah.
And again, what is that reason? That with mix combined with the patch are just reasons to keep the person in the game
play longer.
Yes,
yep,
exactly.
Make you play longer.
So it's like so
pattern.
Obvious. Yeah. So fuck that whole thing. I did have fun with the campaign, and I'm just not going to go back to it. And that's it, But again, this is a perfect bookend because Larian Studios is showing what you can do with Baldur's Gate. It's just like, go in there, lose yourself. There's nothing online. You could play with your friends online if you want, but that's it. Like, that's the experience.
And that's totally fine.
Yeah, and I hope more studios do it.
Yeah. Agreed. All right, I just have a couple real small things, nothing too major here. First, heads up to all the Vampire Survivors fans. That game just is the game that keeps on giving. It's launching on Switch, which I love Vampire Survivors, and don't see this as a negative, but like, if they can get that to run as smoothly on Switch as it runs on PC or on the big consoles, I will be absolutely thunderstruck, dude. I can't see it running that well on Switch. But who knows? Who knows? I don't know.
Okay.
But that's not the big news. The big news, or big-ish news, is that they're adding local co-op, which I think would be great for all of the platforms: Steam, Xbox, mobile, Switch. I'm not sure if it's on PlayStation yet or not. I'm sure it will be. But it's never had local co-op, and I think that'll be really fun. My wife loves Vampire Survivors. I love Vampire Survivors. It's not for everybody. You know, it's not a huge thing. But if you've got a friend in the house and you want to just team up, I can't even imagine what that carnage is going to look like with all that stuff on screen. It'll be pretty bananas, but a pretty neat thing if you're in the niche of playing co-op in your house, and I think that's pretty exciting. So I'll definitely give it a shot. I believe it launches on the 17th, so a couple days from now by the time you're listening to this recording. But yeah, that's kind of exciting, so I'm looking forward to that.
That is cool. It's going to be a madness on screen.
Oh, man. It's going to melt consoles, dude, for real. The only other thing I have is just a real quick announcement. So a game which I loved, and I know that maybe you liked it, maybe not as much as I did, RPG Time, The Legend of Wright. You remember talking about that one?
Yep.
I love that game, and I wish more people would play it. I went crazy about it. I talked about it. I tweeted about it a million times. I tried to get people to listen to me and give this game a shot, and I just feel like no one is playing this game, which is heartbreaking because it's amazing. Just for a quick recap, we covered it on the show a while ago, but basically it is a 2D RPG-ish. It's not really an RPG, but really what it is, it simulates the feeling of being a 14-year-old kid in junior high, scribbling on your 3-ring notebook and your college rule paper, drawing pictures, drawing cool, badass stuff on your paper, but then all that stuff comes to life, and like playing a D&D game with your friends using that paper. So the whole game looks like notebooks and paper and rulers and crayons and stuff, and the character moves around, and then when you kill a guy, like, you erase him with a pencil. And if there's like a ladder appears, like, you draw the ladder in. Like, it's so fucking cool. Like, it looks great. I know other games have attempted this concept, but no one has done it as well as this particular game does. It's really fantastic. I think it's just a one-of-a-kind thing. I think it took the developer like 6 or 7 years of working tirelessly to get this thing done. And it shows, like, everything about it is fucking incredible. So anyway, the reason I bring it up is they are announcing a DLC, which I was completely surprised by. It's called Monster Party. So it's a free update if you own the game, and you should own the game. It's free. Comes out for Switch, Steam, PlayStation, Xbox. It's on everything, apparently. And what it does is it is a actual game that you can play with your friends that takes a lot of the pencil and paper simulation mechanics and does like this little side mission thing where you can just like have a friend join you. You roll dice, like you play like the fake RPG in the fake game world. It looks amazing. I don't know that I am up for like multiplayer, multi-party stuff, but I think it's cool that they did it.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that they did it. I mean, and I'm glad they did it because it gave me a reason to talk about this game again, which I feel like is just like horrifically ignored. Everybody needs to get on this fucking game like yesterday.
It's really cool. It does remind me of being in school and doodling on my notebooks and stuff. So
they nailed it so hard. I'm so in awe of what they've achieved with this game, and I just wish that more people would pay attention. I think probably the title didn't help. I think also it's kind of difficult to explain unless you actually see it. But man, if you were listening to this show, and I know you are because you're hearing my voice right now, do yourself a favor. Go buy this game, RPG Time, The Legend of Wright. I know the title is boring. Just trust me. Just go buy it. If you listen to the show, if you like this show, if you listen to more than one episode of the show, I guarantee you will like this game. The game's fucking incredible.
And real quick, little asterisk, because the reason I almost noped out, even though I like it a lot, because this is the alternative opinion, but I think I figured out why it is cool and what to characterize it as, because people think they hear RPG in the name.
Yeah, and it's not really
an RPG
not
at all.
Really, no,
not even at all. It's a, like you just said, it's a fantasy of like drawing in your notebook and doing things.
Yeah.
But the other thing that comparison is Dragon's Lair, because there's kind of like choices, and like if you got to, like there's like stones that fall, remember, and they hit you on the head or something.
Sure.
You like make choices to not die. So it feels more like that kind of a game. You know what I mean?
Little bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of like choice-based stuff. But like I feel like, I mean, it's funny because my son, who is 14, he does something really similar to this. And so I can watch it in real time. He gets together with his friends on Zoom, And he'll do like these little like it's not official D&D, but it's kind of like their informal group D&D. He just kind of makes it up as he go along, and he's like the DM. And so like he'll often have these like little binary choices. I listen in when he thinks I'm not listening, and I'm like, oh, okay, that was pretty funny, or oh, that was pretty cool. So I'm proud of him for doing that. But this really reminds me of that, where it's like, do you go left or do you go right? You went left. Oh, you died. Like he does that shit all
Choices.
the time, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like it's really, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like it's not really an RPG. It's not a JRPG. It's its own thing. And they probably should have called it something else. But I think that it's really true to life. And I see my kid doing it. I'm like, oh man, that's just like this game. It's really funny. So
check it out.
Anyway, great stuff. Okay. I don't have anything else. Housekeeping, anything final, Carlos?
Let's close it up.
Closing it up, moving on to the main portion of the show. We have a lot to get through today. Starting off with you, Carlos, with a game called Adore, Adore. This is coming to us from Brazil, I believe. I think this was an award-winning game in Brazil or perhaps in the South American game circles. Kind of like a top-down Pokemon-ish sort of thing. I played a little bit of it, but I'm going to let you lead off on this segment here. Tell us about Adore.
Yeah, it says it's 1.0 is out now because it's on Steam, but I'm playing it on PlayStation, I believe.
I played it on Switch.
Okay, so it's out on all the consoles. I think Xbox too, we're guessing?
Probably.
And yeah, I think that even though it says 1.0, it seems like a fully functioning, finished game.
I mean, isn't that what 1.0 means?
Oh, I guess that's what that means. Yeah.
There
okay,
you go.
You learn something new every day.
Mystery solved, folks.
Million podcasts later. Well, I to stand up for myself and not that I'm not totally like clueless. Lots of times 1.0 in a Steam game isn't fully finished because Diablo's a perfect example.
Sure.
It's on 1.1.3 or something, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
no, I get you.
It seems like it's pretty finished, and it's a relaxing game. Like I really picked it up randomly. I would call it a kind of a real-time strategy game. And Pokemon is very light because basically here's what you do. You have a character and you basically control different animal monster things you find. You have to do actually a mechanic to capture them, which is kind of tricky. And you have to have enough life and stuff. But in the very beginning, I found out this is like top down, 3/4 view character. And I thought I could fight. Like, that's the miscommunication of the advertising. I thought.
Oh, you thought your avatar itself could fight?
Yeah, I thought I could roll because I see the dodge roll, and I see action going on the screen. I didn't even look further than that. But no, you do not attack at all. You just run around and do dodge roll, which is good. But then you, again, have to collect these weakened monsters, and once you do, which is the Pokemon connection, you can control them. But what's different is, in a similar vein with Pokemon, you do call them out by a different button. So, like, you have a button assigned to a different monster. So, 4 different buttons, 4 different monsters, if you have 4. And then they have a certain amount of energy, so they can last only for so long to stay out there and fight.
You know what I just realized? I realized I actually talked about this last week. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, I think I did. I was like, wait a minute. As you were describing it, I'm like, wait a minute, didn't I say that already? And I went back and checked.
No.
We did. No, that's fine. Go ahead, because I actually, I could chip in some more on it.
Well, here's my alternate take.
Yeah, we need an alternate take on it.
I think that, so that's the basic game is that you go around and find these little monsters. Again, if certain ones you don't have, you have to weaken them, and then you collect them. And then you go back to a hub town and do things like upgrade and talk to people and get recipes and shit like that. So it's hub town, go out in little map, fight monsters, and gain monsters. And that's the game.
Did you like it, though?
Yeah, I know. I was just trying to set it up.
Oh, yeah. No, good explanation. Yeah, good explanation.
And yeah, there's other things like cooking and runes, and I got a little lost on a bunch of the like middle stuff, miscellaneous.
Yes.
I was like, I just want to go out and do the fighting part.
Right.
So yeah, the short TLDR again is that it's relaxing. Like I really like it, and it was a nice change of pace to not fight because I'm doing all these games where I'm fighting, right?
Right.
Diablo, I'm like sweating and fighting. Baldur's Gate, I'm fighting and strategizing. And in this one, I'm just like walking to the next part of the map and calling out my little monsters and having them do things. So, yeah, I just found it relaxing and nice. And I actually really like on the analog stick, I guess it's the same on the Switch, but you can like push the direction of where you want those monsters to go when you call them.
I believe so.
It's such a small thing, but it's something I really, really like. So like you hit, like say on me, like PlayStation, I hit the circle button or whatever. or yeah, one of the buttons.
Is it
and
hoop? I call it hoop.
Oh yeah, box or hoop.
Box and hoop.
Yeah. And you could hold it down and kind of like move the analog so you're picking the direction of where it's going. It's hard to explain, but it's very, very relaxing and intuitive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed doing it. Like I like the action of playing the game.
Gotcha.
There doesn't seem like a ton of story. Maybe I'm just early on, but it was really just go out, fight things. I guess I fought a boss. Oh yeah, I did fight a boss, and it felt good. It felt like I could strategize again, real-time strategy feel of a game, and then go back home and upgrade and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's just relaxing and cool.
Right on. Yeah, after you started talking about it, I remembered that I was like, oh yeah, I did cover this last week. You weren't here, so that's about what made me think I didn't cover it yet. But yeah, I didn't care for this game like even remotely at all. I really bounced off it pretty hard. No, I felt just to recap real quickly. I'm not going to get into it again, but it felt just really rough. I felt like the map was terrible. I felt like it just was really awkward, just really poorly designed as far as like leading the player through things. Like you said, I got lost in the middle of stuff also, and it reminded me a lot of a GameCube game. You weren't here, so I couldn't ask you, but did you ever play Lost Kingdoms on the GameCube?
I'll have to look it up. That doesn't sound familiar.
Oh,
I've played everything.
That is this game, except better. So there hasn't been a lot of games like this, so fair play, and I think it's a cool idea. But the longer I played it, and when I talked about it on the show, I'd only just like started it, so I was still kind of like middling on it. But the longer I played it, the less I liked it. But it is a cool idea, and I would love to see more games take this same concept and like run further with it.
Right, because I think that this is, again, the concept is fun. I'm looking at Lost Kingdoms. I never played it, weirdly enough, but
oh man, that's a good ass game.
I would say that rose-tinted glasses sometimes because I'm watching the gameplay and I'm like, a door feels like it's a better gameplay loop, in my opinion, or like it's smoother,
But the concept is the same. I mean, well,
the concept's the same.
We're not going to go back and play it regardless because who's going to dig out their GameCube? But anyway, there's not very many of these.
Yes.
Where you put a monster on a button and you kind of Pokemon your way through the world. There's not many of them.
There's not many, and I like it. So I guess my short take is that I like it, and I think to add to you, I think it's confusing. Like parts of it are confusing. Like my monsters were hurt or cursed or whatever, and I couldn't uncurse them.
Yes.
You might have already said this on the show. But I was like, "What? This should just be very easy. Like, where's the uncurse button?"
Yes.
So I just feel like it's a small studio. Maybe they made some bad choices when it comes to the UI and the kind of what they're doing there.
Yeah.
The middle part, I call it, like the kind of minutia seems off. But the gameplay is so relaxing and fun. So it's like easy to go back to and just, I don't know. I still like it for.
No, I mean I agree with you there. I think when you look at the core of what they got, I think the core is good and I think the core is solid. But like you said, they need to just like polish things up and like fix the UI and clarify a few things and simplify a few things. Like they've got a good stake there. They just kind of seasoned it wrong a little bit.
Adore. It's just not Beyonce yet.
It's just not Beyonce yet. Yes, exactly.
That is definitely the name of the podcast.
I'm already writing it down.
Okay.
I'm already writing it down. Okay, so since we're on the topic of talking about games that we have already talked about, let me do that myself. You talked about GYLT last week, right? So hold on, let me make sure.
Not last week because I've been gone.
2 weeks
for a
ago.
while.
2 weeks ago. Let me double check because I feel like I'm like, geez, did I already talk about this already, or did I not talk about it already?
I know. I'm sorry. I only heard some of the last episodes.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm in the shadow zone here. Okay, no, I didn't talk about it. You sold me on it 2 weeks ago, and so I went to go play it because that sounded really interesting. And I do want to say I think that was a pretty legit recommendation that you gave 2 weeks ago. GYLT. Nice. It was originally, what was it? It was exclusive for a while on what is that service? It's not Apple.
Oh, Stadia.
Stadia. I think it was a Stadia exclusive for a while.
So, yeah.
I've already forgotten Stadia. I think everybody's forgotten Stadia. But anyway, I guess the best way to describe it for me is kind of like, I feel like it's like Silent Hill for kids. Kind of, it's a weird description.
I'm glad because I mentioned Silent Hill in my first review. Yeah.
I think that was right on. I think you're definitely right on. Everything you said about it was pretty much on target. I started jumping into it. The graphics you called out as being notable. I agree. I think they're very notable. It looks like Leica Animation Studio. They did Paranorman and Coraline and all those games. Totally. Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yep.
It looks just like that. I'm like, damn, this looks fucking special. Like it looks really cool. A little bit simplified gameplay, but I think that's totally fine. That's not a knock in any way. I think that's great. And just having this story of this girl walking around these spooky environments looking for her lost friend. It's creepy and it's fun. And I think it's really good. It's a really solid game. I'm not going to go too far into it because we did cover it last week or 2 weeks ago. But yeah, you were right on, dude. That was a good recommendation and I'm digging it. And I definitely think it's okay for maybe older kids. I mean, it is a little spoopy at times. It's not super spoopy. I wouldn't say that it's like a horror game, but it's a little scary. You got some monsters chasing you sometimes. You got to hide sometimes. There's a little bit of that going on there. But definitely Silent Hill for kids by way of Leica Animation, and that's a pretty cool thing.
And wasn't the music just awesome?
Yeah, it was really good. Everything about it is really good, like really high quality. Everything about it just oozes quality. So
it oozes production value. It's like,
for sure. Yeah, exactly.
Wow, this is like an animated film or something. So yeah, I can't stress how awesome it is enough. And you just reminding me of it. I'm going to go back and try to finish it because I don't think it's a very long game.
No, I think people said it was like 4 or 6 hours or something, which seems completely perfect and correct.
Exactly, which is why I need to finish it. So thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, well, thanks for recommending it. That is great. Let me talk about one other thing, and then I'll turn it back over to you. The Red Strings Club. Have you ever heard of it, Carlos?
Yes, and I don't know how. I'm looking it up.
All right.
This is a visual novel.
Kind of ish. So here's the deal. The developers of this game, I forget what their name is, Deconstruct Team, indie studio. They have a new game coming up soon. It's called The Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood.
Okay.
And I saw a trailer of that. I'm like, oh, that looks really weird and interesting. That seems like just my jam. That's cool. It's not out yet. So I got in touch with PR and I put in a request. I'll probably talk about it, soonish or whatever. But I'm like, well, since that's not out, let me see what else these people have done because I like to do that. I feel like it's important to go back and see where people came from. It's kind of like your favorite music artist, right? Like whatever their latest album is, if you like their latest album, you go back to their previous album and you're like, well, what were you doing 2 years ago? What kind of sound were you into then? And you can kind of hear the progression of how they grew, maybe what their influences were, maybe changes in their style or whatever. I love to do that. I don't know if people do that anymore. I love to do that.
Yeah, and let me put an asterisk on that and say that some of those albums are better.
Oh yeah, dude.
Give me like straight
real,
up like Nirvana and some other bands, and I can just thinking offhand, Mastodon and stuff. There's some incredible records that are like their first record or their second record. Yeah. So and by the way, these guys are mentioned in the guys and gals are mentioned in the Visual Novel Fest because remember, there's a million fests.
Too many fests.
It's happening, I think, still right now on Steam. And they are mentioned in it because of their games, because they are narrative kind of driven games, right?
Yeah, absolutely true. Absolutely true. So that other one isn't, the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood isn't out yet. I'm going to for sure check that out. But
there's a demo, by the way, on Steam.
Oh, okay, good. Check out the demo.
Yep.
But instead, I'm like, okay, well, I know that their other game, the Red Strings Club, is out on Switch. And in fact, I even bought it. I didn't even realize, but when I went to the store, I'm like, oh, shit. I bought this a couple years ago and I never played it. So I already had it. Fired it up, and I got to say, it was really so strange and unorthodox. I didn't even know what to even do with it. And I am a connoisseur of strange. I love strange games, but this one was like pushing the envelope even for me. So I don't even quite know how to explain it. Basically, kind of a visual novel, kind of a weird mini game thing. The story, from what I gathered, is you're in this kind of weird dystopian future, Blade Runner type future kind of a thing where corporations own everything and everybody is like cyber jacked and they got tubes in them and everybody's half cyborg and stuff. And the game starts off with the main character falling to his death, which I think is a really cool way to start your game. Very intriguing and exciting. And then it goes back to, record scratch. You probably wonder how I got here kind of a thing. So cool. I dig it. But then it kind of gets really odd. Like the very first thing you do is a minigame where you're pouring drinks, and it was really very cumbersome. Very cumbersome and not well explained. I got kind of frustrated on the very first gameplay section. And it went on for like too long. So I'm like, okay, you're kind of losing me. Strong opening, but you're kind of losing me. You move on from the drinks thing, you talk a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, back in. The talking is good. Let's find out what's going on here. And then you go to this section where you're not even gonna believe what I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna think I'm completely crazy.
I am gonna believe it because I remember playing this game now.
Okay, good. I really need a second opinion on this.
Yeah.
So what happens is you become an android person working in this factory. Everybody is like pretty naked, which is really shocking to me. And then you're supposed to take requests from people who get wheeled into you in like some kind of a cryo state. And it'll be like, I'm a YouTuber and no one watches my videos. I need help. And so then you go to a machine, which I can only describe as a lathe for flesh. You get a chunk of flesh and you're supposed to carve it into a shape that will somehow get this guy more views on YouTube. And so like there's this little weird carving template and you have a couple different tools and you spin the flesh and you got to carve chunks of it out. And then when it's the right shape, you put it inside the guy's tummy and you send him on his way. And I'm like, okay, this is fucking weird.
Totally sounds like Existence, by the way.
It does sound like Existence. Yeah. The David, what's his name? Cronenberg?
Yeah.
Cronenberg. Yeah. That's a great movie, by the way. Go watch that. So I'm like, okay, I did that for a while. I'm like, okay, I did like 3 or 4 patients and I'm like, okay, this is weird, but it's also kind of boring and dull. Like it's not super exciting to carve flesh from a lathe. Like once or twice is fine, but like, I think I ended up doing like 4 or 5 times. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to do the next thing. But they're like, no, you got to carve more. And I'm like, I don't want to carve more. I'm ready to move on. Nope, you got to carve some more. It just went on for like forever. And like the first guy came back, he cycled back around. And he's like, okay, you got me more views, but now the haterade is so strong, I can't deal with my depression. So what do you do for me now? And I'm like, oh shit. Okay, well, I got to carve him a shape that'll make him not care what people think about him. And I carved that one too. And I'm like, okay, this is all really like fascinating and interesting, but like, it's dragging on too long and I needed to move on to the next thing. I had carved so many pieces of flesh that I'm like, I'm good. And I just was like, okay, I'm going to put this down for now because I'm getting kind of pissed off and bored.
And instead of carving flesh, can't you just go to therapy?
Right? You would think so.
Seems easier.
I agree. Probably cheaper too. So I bounced at that point. I didn't technically bounce, but like I put it down because I got frustrated and I never came back to it. And now we're doing the show. So I don't have a follow up to that, but it seemed really fascinating and cool, but like cumbersome. And also they didn't know when to say when on some of these mini games.
Yeah.
And like, it's just this weird, very experimental, like I like the vibe, but I didn't like the gameplay. So I'm probably not going to come back to it now, but I am very intrigued to see what they're going to do with the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. Now, Carlos, you said you played this yourself. What do you remember anything about it?
Yeah, I mean, everything you're saying, and I'm looking at the pictures of it now, I remember playing it. This came out in 2018.
Yeah, I've had it on my Switch for a while, dude.
And I played it back in 2018 because I play every game that ever comes out ever.
Sure.
Including on my new channel, Glitch to the Ground. Check it out. No, yeah, I got confused. Like you're saying, you reminded me of all the things. I remember mixing drinks and going like, oh, is this a mixing drink game? And I was like, nope, it's not that.
Nope.
You got to do some cutting, and then there's some naked people. And I was like, what? What they do is they create these worlds of, it's a point-and-click adventure / narrative.
Yeah.
That it's like, it's telling us weird story they want to tell, but the actual gameplay I got confused by.
Yeah.
And I just stopped. I stopped playing because I was like, I really like parts of this. And I like Cyberpunk and I like the look of it, but I just didn't want to do the things that I was doing.
Same.
Yeah. And so I remember in 2018, I stopped playing it. But that being said, and going to one of your things you always say on the show, is that when people and developers work on games and they keep trying things, they get to another status or whatever, and they're like, now we're making this game, and it's even the best thing we've ever done, right?
Right.
So after that, they made essays on empathy in 2021, which I didn't play.
I have not played that one.
And then, like you said, Cosmic Wheels, the next one, which is 2 years later. So it's like every couple of years they've made a game. And so maybe this is the one, right? Like that breaks them out or something. But
yeah,
that one specifically, no thanks. I just didn't like what I was doing. But I like the work.
It's a shame because I think that everything about it was so on point. Like the visuals and the style and the vibe and the tone, cyborgs and transhumanism, like that was all fucking cool. It just seemed like they didn't have any gameplay to go with it, and it almost would have been better if they had just gone traditional visual novel. Like I would have hung in if it was just like that, but
yeah,
just doing the boring stuff for too long, I was like, dude, this is actual boring, and I want to get back to the good stuff. So I don't know. I'm probably not going to come back to it, but I will be very curious, and I'm very open to seeing how they've evolved in the last 4 or 5 years to see with their next game. So hopefully they've taken those lessons and kept the cool stuff, revamped the stuff that was maybe not so cool, and hopefully they got a real winner on their hands. So that's coming out soon. I'll report back on that. But as for the Red Strings Club, I think I'm out on that one.
And to just finalize that, the Cosmic Wheel of Sisterhood is about a fortune teller, and it's about where you create a tarot deck. So it does seem more focused on like one type of mechanic, at least.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We shall see. Okay, turning it back over to you, Carlos, for a game which I've never heard of, and you're going to tell us about now. It has to do with Native American theming, and I'm going to butcher this pronunciation. Everybody forgive me. And if you know how to properly pronounce this, please let me know. I'm guessing it's called Skab'ma, Skab''Ma. Is that right? Or do you think I'm close?
Yeah, it's SKA' over that.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
My bad.
BMA, Skab'ma, I guess. I actually probably heard it in the game, but I forgot. So I apologize. Especially being native, I am failing this review already.
Ouch. Well, I equally failed, and if anybody knows, please let us know. But we're going to go with Skab'ma, I guess.
Yeah, and so basically you play as a character in this tribe, Ailu, and basically, it's a third-person adventure game with some combat.
Like a point-and-click type of adventure
No,
game?
no. Like third-person, run-around, action-adventure kind of game, right?
Gotcha, okay.
Platforming and, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Again, we've done 8 million episodes of the show. I don't know how to describe games, so sorry. But it's that. It's Banjo-Kazooie. I always go back to Banjo-Kazooie.
Okay, it's Banjo-Kazooie.
That's what it is, right? Mario 64, okay? It's that kind of game. But, you do that game right and you got the mechanics right, that's important. And I think they do. So you play as this character who's part of a tribe, kind of, starts off just like taking care of reindeer and making sure they don't like leave the pen and stuff. And at some point there's a reindeer that leaves and you got to go track it down.
Can I ask you really quickly before we go on, what is maybe you said it and I missed it, but like what part of the world is this set in? Is this like a snowy area, or is this like America type thing, or what kind of environment are we talking about?
Yeah, it's a Nordic kind of native village.
Okay.
And it says right here that they're the Sami healers. And so it's a very specific tribe and a very specific set of native.
Well, you said reindeer, so I'm thinking, well, reindeer are only like in the snowy, European, Norway, Scandinavia part of town, right?
Yeah, it says never before seen representation of indigenous Sami stories.
Okay, gotcha.
So there you go.
So not American indigenous, but
no, like Nordic kind of
Nordic indigenous.
Yeah,
gotcha.
And it's really it's beautiful, and I think I tweeted out a snapshot of it. It just feels really cool, the world they built. And the little characters run around, and you're talking to people and stuff like that. And then at some point, the impetus of the whole story is you go chasing after this deer and kind of fall in this crevasse somewhere. You meet a spirit, which again are a lot of these stories.
They hang out in crevasses. That's where you find.
That's
spirits.
Where they go. Yeah. Familiar spirit, and says basically you now have to save the world, of course. And it sends you on your way with like this new power that you get from a drum, and the drum can heal you and can also do other things. It's a very story-driven game. This is like third-person run around, jump, platform, but it's really about the story they're trying to tell and this connection that this character now has to the spirit world and how to help save the world. And again, I didn't get too far, but really it's about exploration so far, at least, and not combat heavy, but you are doing things with like enemies and other things around you and stuff. But it's just a beautiful landscape to explore. Having just fun just being in that world, and like I said, you got to do the mechanics right. And so far all the jumping feels good. Like there's like powers you get later on, like shields and stuff, and jumping through like hoops. Bringing it back. But like,
full circle.
Yeah. But you're jumping through like these orbs and stuff. Full circle, hoop.
Circle. Yeah, there you go.
And then you stop for moments to get more of the story and kind of learn about, this tribe and these spirits and stuff like that and how you're going to save the world. So that's the story. Again, the game is just relaxing, almost similar to a door in that way, where like I just like running around this world and seeing it. I think they did a really good job of like representing this whole thing. And there's some tracking and stuff like that too, which is par for the course for Native Americans.
Sure.
It was a breath of fresh air. It came out of nowhere. And I'll talk about this at the end of the show, but I'm watching the last season of Reservation Dogs, which is fucking incredible. Everybody go watch it. And so it was just a great pairing. You know how I love that pairing.
You like the multimedia experience, I know.
Yes. So I finished watching an episode of Reservation Dogs, came over here, played this, and I got my fill. So I recommend it. I think it's pretty cheap. I'm trying to see how much it is right here.
It seems like it's probably Steam only, huh?
No, I'm playing on PlayStation.
Oh, PlayStation. I didn't realize. Okay.
Can you check? Because we always say it might be on Xbox. Just check to see if it's on Xbox. Because oftentimes I go on and on about how Xbox doesn't have some of these games. I like to know.
I am looking. It it
Skab'ma.
up.
Xbox.
Yes, it is on Xbox.
It is. Okay, good. It's $20 on Steam. I think it was about $15 on PlayStation. So yeah, I think it's really cool, relaxing. I think I need to go, further in to see more of the powers. But the character definitely gets like a ton of powers.
Right.
It's not like
right.
just like running and jumping and like going through the woods. It's like running, jumping, finding new drum powers. There are like this kind of darkness that's taking over, which is in every game. But like you got to like get rid of the darkness with your drum as well. So it's again not direct like hacking and slashing, but you're using your drum like magic. I guess you're a magic user, really.
I mean, probably that's a common theme that runs through a lot of indigenous stories and myths, and I would guess probably games as well.
Yeah, and it also heals you. It's like really cool. It's like a double thing. So I think it's cool. You should check it out. It shows another tribe that doesn't get represented at all, like most native stories. So check it out.
All right, right on. Sounds great, and it's on apparently on most of the platforms. There you go.
It is.
All right, so that was Skab'ma. A couple more games to go here, and I'm actually really looking forward to some of these. This one, maybe not so much. Atlas Fallen, coming from Deck 13, who I'm pretty sure are the people that did Lords of the Fallen. Is that right? And there's another one they did, The Surge, I believe.
Surge, yeah, and Surge 2. Yep.
Surge 2. So this one just dropped a couple days ago. It is, a third-person action game where you play a person who's got this... man, I'm already getting tired talking about it, dude.
We can't describe games, though. I think some of it's on us.
I mean, I think part of it is my lack of enthusiasm for this game.
Okay.
Maybe you liked it more than I did, but anyway, you play a person in this RPG fantasy world. It's kind of like desert based or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's so generic with like the whole fantasy and the people getting oppressed and whatever. I can't even. I'm sorry, guys. I got to tap out. I can't even talk about this game because it's so boring.
Well, I can help. Let me help.
Go
I'll
ahead.
tap
Take
in.
over, Carlos.
There's a god, and the god like basically said like, "Hey, give everything to me, okay, and all the resources, including the land's resources." And so, because that god did that, the land just became sand and a wasteland.
Yes.
So that guy's
lots of sand.
Dick. He's like an asshole. And so then you're there, and you meet another god who's like this kind of he's trapped in the gauntlet, I believe, that you have.
Yeah, the gauntlet that you find soon after you start the game. Yeah,
and in that gauntlet, you're basically like have all your powers and your abilities, which are like essentially melee abilities, but that come out of the gauntlet. And so that's it. And then you periodically talk to this, other god. And it's funny because someone said on a chat room or somewhere at some discussion board, like, is either of them better? Because the god that you keep talking to in your gauntlet was like, hey, I could do things better. But that's what they all say.
Sure.
Until they become this guy, I think his name's Thelos, and then they ruin the whole land. So it's like, it's not a good story, I don't think.
Right.
Because you're like, why am I fighting for two different gods who both seem to want their own thing, And they don't like each other or something. But the core mechanic that I thought was interesting was the sliding around. Because the idea is that you can slide in the sand with just one button press.
Yeah.
And it is relaxing, right? Like that part was...
Yeah, you like
fun.
surf around to navigate between places, and you just like surf on top of the sand, and you just zip around places.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
But the game definitely feels like I call it Darksiders vibe, right? Because it's a kind of a clunky, like Darksiders was like this action RPG kind of game, but like you felt like these really big characters, and the mechanics just felt a little weird to me always.
Yeah.
And that's what it feels like with this game. It's like you're running around action adventure RPG-ish, but you're everything's really kind of clunky.
Real clunky, yeah.
And then on top of that, the other thing, I guess we're going to do kind of a short review.
Yeah.
Is that like when you do attack, I never felt the tactile sensation that I needed or like the concrete understanding of what I was going to do.
Yes.
Like every time I jumped in the air, I had an idea what I wanted to do, but it didn't always play out that way.
Yeah.
And I think that's my biggest problem with the game is that like I like going on the sand. I like the kind of world they built. I like that it's not like their other games, which is not a Souls game at all. At all. You just have to like, upgrade your stuff and, upgrade your armor. And it's kind of more of a action adventure RPG game.
Yeah.
But when I got to things that were shouldn't be that difficult, I felt myself eating shit more than I should because I wasn't it wasn't playing out like I thought it would be. Does
It's
that make
not
sense?
tuned. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. It's not tuned at all. So let me back up a little bit. I just like Deck 13, dude. Like Lords of the Fallen was ass. Okay, that was like a really bad game. I know it's got some fans now, but you're just wrong. It's not a good game. Nothing about it is good. The Surge, also super not a good game. And this game, Atlas Fallen, also super not a good game. And I'm kind of wondering how these guys keep making games. I mean, they must sell enough to keep making them. But like, I've played all their games, and they're all not great. Like, they all have major
sold
problems.
well, I think that's why.
I mean, maybe,
sure.
I guess, but like, I just wasn't really sold on. I mean, I played the Surge 2 as well. I didn't care for it. But this one, I mean, despite starting off with this world where you have these warring gods, you got to pick a side and everything. I mean, the setting is okay. You know, kind of a Dune-like sort of a thing going on. But it just feels like ass to play. Like the combat is so bad. I felt like so it took me a while. In fact, I didn't even understand this. I had to read this on a message board, but they're like, oh, the gauntlet that you have that has the god of inside of it, it creates weapons from the sand. And I'm like, oh, is that what's going on? I totally didn't put that together at all. It just felt like you were conjuring these weapons out of nowhere. Yeah. And it, even before you're in the sandy place, you can be in a place that's not sandy and it still conjures them. So that didn't really make a lot of sense. It doesn't matter anyway, because it's just for like looks or something. But like, you get these weird weapons that conjure up out of nowhere, and they just feel totally laggy and off point. There's a lot of combat games lately, and like, you have to have really tactile, like you said, things have to do what you want them to do when you need them to do it, and that's how you get a good combat experience. Like, you can count on your weapons, you can count on your dodge rolling, you can count on what's going on. But in this game, like, I would hit the triangle button for like a bonus attack or the strong attack. Sometimes, like half the time, it wouldn't work, and I'm like, what's going on? Why is this button not working? Or sometimes it would work after like a second, and sometimes I'm doing the other square attack, which is your basic attack, and it just was like mashing, just pure mashing.
Yeah.
The time delay that happened and the feedback that happened when you're doing the combat was just all over the place, dude. Like, it felt completely miserable. And
that's an important point, is the delay.
Yeah.
Because I think that's really at the heart of what this is. Because, by the way, the other part of this that we're leaving out is that you're in the air a lot of times. You're actually in the air most of the time.
If you jump, I mean, I didn't bother doing that a lot.
Wait, were you not?
I was like, whatever. Like, it's dumb. Like, I didn't like any of the combat. I was just on the ground most of the time.
Let me put a little double asterisk then.
Okay.
This game is about being in the air. Like, it wants you to be in the air because all these moves come out of like you floating, and when you float, you can keep attacking in the air. So that's and to that point, when you're up there, it's confusing on when you're going to land, and the lag that happens while you're in the air is confusing.
Well, let me ask you then. So, are you just doing that because of how it felt? Because I don't remember any tutorial that's like do all air combos or anything like that. It was just like, regardless of whether I was in the air or on the ground, and jumping didn't really seem to add anything. It was this really laggy, just offbeat combat that I didn't care for. Was there some advantage to it?
You have to. Yeah, at some point you're going to have to. Like, basically, I don't know. I played a lot of this game, actually. I remember I got a code earlier.
You definitely played more than I did.
And I beat some bosses and stuff, and I was trying to have a really good time with it. And I don't know if I'm done with it, but, like, there's this thing about air dashing, so you can actually jump in the air and then dash. Then you open up another one, so you can dash, like, 2 or 3 times. So you can, like, traverse the land, and it's almost like you're flying. Like a Just Cause kind of vibe. Like, it definitely has a Just Cause vibe.
Gotcha.
So that's what opens up. And then you're basically just doing that all the time. There's all these special moves that you can do while you're in the air. And there's obviously monsters that are floating anyhow.
So maybe this is because you got further than I did. Because I was so turned off at the beginning. I didn't have like all those air options. So maybe I just didn't play long enough. But to be fair, what I saw did not even remotely make me want to play more. So I wouldn't have put more time into it anyway.
But it's just the same what you're doing, but in the air. So I'm saying, like, I'm adding to your point that the lag was also in the air.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, I just was confused, like, especially with bosses. Like you said earlier, you've got to be spot on with what the character's going to do once you hit the button.
Yeah.
And so I lost a bunch of fights. And then, by the way, some of the monsters and bosses have weak points. And that feels weird in a game like this because I'm already in the air. I'm breaking it down real granular real quick. I'm already in the air. There's one sand monster. Dune is a very good, mention there.
Yeah, counterpoint. Uh-huh.
And the weakness on the sand monster, and I'm in the air, is on like the lower part of its body. So I have to drop to the ground, even though I'm doing all these combos in the air, hit just at its body's weak point, then jump back up in the air, and then hang out there, and then hit its head. So it's like there's this confusing thing. And then on top of that, there's lag.
Right.
So I got real in the weeds with it, but it's like it wants to be this awesome, huge combo thing, but I just think it's just off. I think it's off.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm sure the people at Deck 13 are great people. This is not a personal attack in any way. I don't know them personally. I don't mean them ill or anything like that. Like, this is not supposed to be kind of a personal slam, but like looking at their output only, talking about the games they've made, and I believe I've played every game they've put out. None of them are good. They are not good games. Mechanically, they are not good. I think the systems that they put in, we haven't even mentioned, like, as soon as I saw how many menus and little bits and bobs you have to upgrade in this game, and that was following, I'm like, oh, forget it. Like, I'm not going to spend time, like, collecting all these things and upgrading. Like, if the combat base experience isn't good, I'm not going to upgrade a bunch of shit. And they just, I super do not care for their games, and I do not think they make good games. So I'm sure they're nice people, but I was out pretty quick on this one because it just felt terrible. Just the lag and attacking alone was enough to get it off my radar. Like, it just does not feel good.
Yeah, I would just say that the only other kind of semi-counterpoint is that I did have a good enough time with the open world and this, sliding around mechanic and finding shit. It felt like Darksiders in a huge open world, which was fine by me. It's just that when I had to get past certain monsters or bosses, I felt weak sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even though I had upgraded my stuff, which, by the way, I've done a lot more than you did in this game.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
And I bring it up because none of it felt good. Like, my armor was like upgraded, and I was like, okay, did that do anything better? I don't know. Like, I didn't know.
Right.
And there's no traditional weapons because they're all magic weapons.
Right.
So it's like everything I upgraded, I just didn't know if I felt better after it.
Right.
And then by the way, you raise things out of the ground, and that's another mechanic that was kind of interesting for puzzles and stuff. Like, it felt like Zelda at some point. But yeah, there's just things that are interesting that I liked losing myself in that world for a while, but I just kept getting frustrated when it came to the combat.
Here's a quick side note. I just had to throw this in because I found it particularly stupid and irritating.
Yeah.
In the very, 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 very beginning of the game, you're like this. I picked a lady. You can pick a lady or a dude, I believe. And I'm like walking around, and then you do a couple things. You kill some monsters or whatever, and then you have to leave the very starting town. This is like 10, 15 minutes after you start the game, real early. And so you go up to the guard who's guarding the gate. He's like, you can't go out without armor. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I go to get some armor, and you have to buy it. You have literally just started the game, and you have to buy the armor. I had $0. And I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to buy this armor? Who's going to give me money? Where am I supposed to get money at? And so what I ended up doing was, luckily, I had picked up a couple of random, plants or whatever, herbs or something, as I was running through killing the monsters. Nobody tells you to pick them up. I just picked them up at random, and I ended up selling those for money. And I had just enough money. It was like $100 for the armor, and I ended up having like $110 or something like that. And I'm like, that's fucking stupid, because if I didn't pick up those herbs randomly, I would have had no money. And then what would I have done? Because I couldn't have bought the very first starting armor, and the guy wouldn't have let me start the game. How would I have gotten past that? Was there money scattered throughout the camp? Am I supposed to search out bags of money? I mean, that's the kind of thing where you're like, why the fuck are you doing that? I just literally started your game. Don't start your game out like that.
Okay, well, counterpoint.
Yes.
Just like anything that can happen bad or weird to a PC happens to Brad Galloway. Anything weird or buggy, I think, also happens to you in games.
Okay.
Because that did not happen to me at all.
You had plenty of money by the time you had to buy that armor?
No, there was no money. There's no money involved. There's no armor involved. There wasn't. I played the game.
You're straight up wrong. You were straight up wrong.
I'm going to go back to an old save and find it. But I left the village because they made me leave the village to go get somebody.
Yeah, it's right after that. It's right after that part where you get that guy and come back.
Yeah.
And then the guard is like, and you're like, oh, I want to go kill some monsters or something. It's after you bring the guy back.
Yeah, and
you go to the gate.
The guard let me through, no problem.
Okay, so you must have done something differently than I did, because he's like, you need armor, you don't have any, and it costs $100, and I didn't have any.
I didn't buy any armor. That's for sure. I didn't buy any armor.
Something different happened in your game. I swear to you That's what happened. I wrote it down because it was so fucking
I know,
stupid
that
and it
seems
drove
weird.
me crazy.
Again, like I said, any weird thing, you seem to find some of that stuff. All I
mean-
know is I talk to everybody. I don't know if you talk to everybody.
No, I don't talk to people. It's
So I talked to everybody. Maybe I opened up a dialogue option or
probably
something.
maybe you got free armor from somebody, or maybe somebody
I
gave you
didn't
money.
get
or
any
who
armor.
knows.
I'm gonna go back and look. That is a
Go check it out because
weird
that's exactly
point
what
now.
happened. Anyway,
okay.
doesn't matter. Don't like this game.
Yeah.
I don't like. I just don't care for their games, man. So anyway.
I don't like
Atlas
their Souls
Fallen.
games, by the way, but I like this the best out of all the things they've made. So that if that's saying something. And again, I did spend quite a long time like running around their world and stuff. So
All right. Anyway, Atlas Fallen. I'm out.
Moving on.
I'm out so hard. Okay, so here's something that I really found interesting and surprising, and I think especially in context of the last couple episodes, double surprising. We were just talking about survivors likes and how so many people are aping that right now. How many people are stealing that formula and doing nothing different with it and cranking out clones, and how disappointed at seeing that I was. We talked about that, I think, the last couple episodes. But I came across one randomly yesterday, and it actually was pretty cool, and I liked it, and I thought they brought something different to the table. So it's called Remedium Sentinels. Not a great title. Apparently, these guys are PC developers. I don't know where they're from, but Remedium is the game that they're working on now. And maybe I'm wrong on this because I don't think Remedium is in a full release state yet. They're still in early access, I believe. But it looks like they started Remedium doing their thing. I'm assuming they've played Vampire Survivors and were like, whoa, this is dope. And then they just cranked this one out just like real quick. And they're like, we can do one of these. We're going to do our own flavor. While we're making this other game, we're going to make this game too. And it's just I'm kind of surprised they just kind of busted this out real fast. So what is it? It is a top-down Survivors-like. And by this, you start off with a character. You go into a level. The character automatically attacks. You kill enemies, and there's a bunch of enemies, like hordes of enemies. They drop experience. You pick up the experience. And when you clear a certain bar, like you get a level up and a power up. I mean, functionally, same thing as Vampire Survivors. They're copying from that template exactly, right? But what makes it different is, number one, the setting and the graphics. The graphics are this really grungy ass, dirty. It almost reminds me of like late PS1 era, where characters were made up of like 50 triangles, and the textures were like, big chunky pixels that you could see. But obviously it's intentional, and I think I really like the style very much. This is also a game that was clearly done on a very small budget. They recycle some of the models and stuff, and you can see like where they're cutting corners, but that's okay. I think the game costs like $2, maybe $3, so it's not like they're asking an arm and a leg for it. Like really reasonable price for what they turned out. But the graphics and tone is cool. What also makes it stand out is the just the overall aesthetics and design. You play humans who are putting together. They look like steampunk golems. And when you go out into the world, there's all these like weird, just goopy monsters or whatever. And you run around with the golems, and they get like all like missile launchers and guns. And the signature weapon of this game is a giant rotating machine gun on your head. And so like, I think that's a really striking image of this giant like machine gun for a head. And you're just like rotating around and shooting dudes, and like mortars launching off your back. And sometimes you got this claw that shoots out, and it depends on like what, weapon you get and what loadout you get. And it's slow and it's clunky, and you never get that sense of like in Vampire Survivors where you rough at the beginning, you get a couple upgrades, and then all of a sudden like you're basically invincible, where like you've got guys staying 50 feet away from you and you just like mow them down. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I love it in Vampire Survivors, but this feels different because you're constantly on the run. Like I have yet to get to that point where I'm like, oh, I'm dominating, I'm killing these guys like no problem. I am always running for my life. I am always like, oh my god, I got to get around this mob of enemies and stuff. But the clunky golem walking around is really fucking cool looking with the gun on his head and the rockets and stuff. Like it's got a very different feel to it. It's also structurally somewhat different because there's I think 6 levels or something. Again, like small game, but you can go through these levels and you can finish them. Like there's like infection level in the thing, and so like you get to the first level, you kill a bunch of dudes, and after you can see the infection level like lowering and lowering and lowering as you're going through it, and then eventually like you've purged that level and you're done with it. And that feeling of satisfaction is really cool, where you're like, oh man, I did a couple runs, and it's it feels like Vampire Survivors, but like you're making progress, like you're unlocking little things. Unlocks give you better weapons. you clear out the levels, and then you're like, yeah, I cleared out the graveyard. Oh, it feels good to have that cleared out. Oh, I cleared out the temple. Oh man, it's monster free. That was me. I did that. Like it just feels good to do something like that. So there's just like little spins on it, but I think aesthetically, I think is really the coolest thing about it. I think it just looks badass. I love the way it looks, and just the slight tone difference, pace difference, is really great. So again, it's a really small game. There's not nearly as many weapons as Vampire Survivors, not nearly as many levels. It's, a really quick experience. But I love the vibe of what they're doing. I think it just feels really cool and feels different enough to me to where I am interested, whereas I have not been interested in the other 2 or 3 Vampire Survivors likes I've tried.
Yeah, it seems different enough. It's also $5 on Steam, so I don't know if it was cheap wherever you got it.
I must have had a sale because I bought it on PSN. I swear it was like $2 or $3. It must have been on sale. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, they have done. It's called Sobako Studios. Sobako Studio. They did Redeemer, which I feel like we played.
Oh, we did play Redeemer. Okay, I know.
It's kind of a punch and hack and slash kind of game. Not roguelike, but just kind of a brawler.
No, kind of a top-downy sort of a God of War sort of a thing, yeah.
And then on top of that, they're working on a new game called Kyborg, which is going to be third-person brawler game, so kind of go back to Redeemer roots, and it's a roguelike, which I have not seen that very often, which is like third-person roguelike.
Not a lot of those, yeah.
Yeah, so I bet you that's going to be good. We should talk to them.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm really kind of keen on their style and their sensibility. They've got a vibe to them that I think is kind of appealing. So before we bounce off of this, I do want to say just a couple things. So as far as the downsides go, again, expect a small game. Like it seems like they just busted this out like in 2 weeks or something. So don't come into it looking for a full-featured thing. Although that said, if they did polish this up, add some more levels, or maybe make a sequel with like more options and polish it up a little bit, I think that would be fantastic. I would really be down for that. But the one problem that I have with this game so far is that I feel like it is right on the very edge of being a little bit too hard. So I'm, like I said earlier, I'm constantly struggling. I'm constantly running away from my life, and I haven't really cleared the bar of where now I'm dominating, now I'm kicking ass, and it's getting pretty tough. And now I need to make some kind of progress. I need to push through. I'm not quite sure what the next thing I need to do is to get to the next level of survivability, but I need to get there because I'm kind of stalling out a little bit, but still into it, still liking it. The other thing that I want to say is not specifically related to this game, but related to PC players and Steam in general. I went to Steam to read the reviews about this game before the show, just kind of curious what other people thought of it, if it was liked, not liked, or whatever. And this is something common that I find with Steam players. I don't know that it goes to console players, but like I'll go to some game that I feel like is really difficult, whether it's this or whatever. I've done this multiple times. I'll go to some Steam game. You look at the comments and it's like, this game was so easy. I finished it in like 5 minutes. Where's the challenge? There need more content. And I'm like, what? Fuck you fucking... Like, if you're not lying, you're a goddamn malformed Steam nerd, because they're just like, this game is way too easy. Oh, I gotta beat it. Like, not even looking at the screen, drinking a coffee, talking to somebody, and I like, okay, no, it's not that easy. What are you talking about? Like, I mean, if it's that easy for you, I don't even know what to tell you. You're using some exploits or cheats, or maybe you're just like this no lifer living in your mom's basement. But like, get off of this, dude. Like, I hate going to a Steam board and everybody just saying it's so easy, no challenge, blah 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 blah. It just irritates the fuck out of me, dude. It can't be real. Cannot be real.
I can't agree more. But also on top of that, what the problem is, a lot of developers listen to that. What's it called? The loud minority.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they'll go to the Steam page, they'll see that same review, and they'll be like, "Oh, I guess I have to make it harder."
Gotta make it harder, yes.
Which is the wrong thing to do. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
It just irritates me.
In defense of everybody who leaves that comment, they're not all in the basement, but at the same time, they're probably like, they could be, our age and living in a nice 1-bedroom apartment, but they can also be dicks. Like, you could be wherever you want to be, and also that same person, which is like, I guess you don't have to be a dick if you're saying like it's just easy for you, but don't like say this is stupid and it's too easy. Like, that's a bad combo.
Yeah, it's like you could pick any game in the world. You could pick like the hardest souls or whatever, and there's always some asshole being like, "Oh, it was so easy. Where's the challenge?" Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off, dude. Anyway. Oh, one other tiny little thing I wanted to mention.
Mm-hmm.
Slight design choice. If the developers listen to this, I hope they do. Please, like, expand this game. Don't make it harder. And once, like, it's very imperceptible almost, but like when you're running around and the mobs come in, I find that the problem that this game has in terms of the mob spawning is that sometimes they'll spawn mobs in front of you in a way that feels a little bit unfair. So like, let's say you've got like 300 guys behind you and you're slowly cutting them around. You're kind of like nickel and diming them, trying to wear down the mob. And then all of a sudden, a really sizable mob will come from behind you, and then you have nowhere to run. And that to me feels like if I haven't cleared that bar of killability where I'm not killing guys fast enough, it's basically like a death sentence. And that's kind of where I'm getting stuck.
Dude.
So I feel like if the developers just tweak this just a little bit, I feel like they would be right in the sweet spot. And I feel like the design, the vibe, the golems, the machine gun on the head, like there's a lot of like fucking awesome in this game. They just need to like tweak it again a little bit. And of course, for a really cheap small game like this, I get it. But like, this is gold. Like, don't just leave it like this. Like, please fix it up because I think this is worth saving. So,
two things real quick. We'll move on.
Yeah.
One, I said, dude, because it sounds like Diablo, where they, if anything, again, vocal minority. That's what it is.
Yes.
Say like, hey, our nightmare dungeons. If you play Diablo, you know what I'm talking about. They don't have enough mobs, right? And
Oh my God.
And I'm just getting through them, but they're like, we want more experience so we can level faster. So they did that for them. So, like, I'm definitely not going back to that game. But, like, the Nightmare Dungeons are fuller with more monsters in them now, right?
Yeah.
That sounds like a thing again, that, like, these developers listen to their players and maybe even the vocal minority, and they put more, I don't know.
Well, that comment, it's funny you say that because literally that exact comment was on one of the boards where the guy's like, there's not nearly enough mobs. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I've got like 500 dudes on my ass in the front, and then I've got 200 dudes behind me. I could use less mobs, man. Like, what are you even talking about? So, yeah, I get it.
My second thought is they're not going to touch that game again. So
probably not.
So let's leave that alone. They don't need to, like,
sequel maybe? Better
add
sequel?
to it. Yeah, they could do that because it's a short game, and they are full on working on Kyborg. I mean, look at that thing.
Sure.
If you look at that page, that's like a huge game for them. So,
sure. But if they're listening, come back to it. I think it's good.
Come back to it in another game, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Fine.
Do a better sequel. I'm totally down.
But
I think this is great.
Let's hit them up and let's play that Kyborg because I think that it's like going to be a one of a kind. Like, we like their style. They're doing third person roguelike. That seems cool. So
I'll track down their contact and I'll send them a link to the podcast and maybe they'll want to talk to us. We'll
see. I'm excited.
All right, I am out of games, but we've got one more game to talk about. I don't know. A lot of people, don't seem interested. I know it's kind of like it's our thing to bring up these small indies that people don't know about. Yeah. I want to bring a spotlight to this game. I feel like it needs some more spotlight, maybe a couple more players, some more love. Carlos, I don't know. Baldur's Gate 3, man. Smallest, like, on no one's radar. You want to talk about it for a minute?
Yeah, it's a little place called Larian Studios. Just a few people. And it's their first game, It's hard to go with that charade for
I know, right?
So I played a little bit of this game in early access. This is, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 were highly successful PC games, different in a way of scope where they were smaller in scope. But Baldur's Gate 3 is the game that's been like in early access for years and years. I don't know which version of it in early access, but I played some of it in the beginning. It's fully out now, as we say, 1.0, I guess, with some updates here and there. But yeah, it's on Steam, it's on PC, but it's not on consoles yet. So I actually took the plunge and got it on Steam because I was so hungry to play it, even though it's coming out a month later on PlayStation. Is it coming out on Xbox at the same time?
I don't know.
No, it
but
isn't.
I do know.
It isn't.
It's not. PlayStation first?
It's PlayStation first. They're working out because of Xbox Series X or S is having problems because that thing is under
powered. Jeez. That was stupid.
And this thing is a beast, by the way. This game is a beast.
Exactly.
It regularly, and we're just jumping to the technical, and I'll talk about the game, but it regularly like has tons of popping in whenever I load up the game. And so in the very beginning of the game, every time I load it, it's just me and like no walls, and just like things pop in slowly. So I have to kind of wait when I start it up on my computer. My computer's not strong. I have a 2060. It's not great.
Gotcha.
Anywho, this is an RPG. It's based on D&D. It's the most D&D RPG probably ever made in the fact that it's straight up dice rolls. It's stealth checks.
Do you see the dice rolls?
You see the dice.
Oh, you do? Okay.
It does a beautiful, like, what is that? Like the mobile games have that great sound that makes you addicted. What's that feeling? What's that called?
Of the dice roll?
Yeah, but like certain sounds in games, like you like the feel and the sound of them. Like maybe Marvel game has that for you, where you do something and the sound is like satisfying.
Getting some good auditory feedback.
Yeah, there's another word for it, but you hear that dice roll, and it goes, and then it's success or failure. You hear like a sound effect. Oh, like that.
There you go.
But it doesn't do that.
It's not that, though.
Perfectly on cue, though. So, yeah, it's got the D&D. It's based on, is it 5th edition rules? Oh, man, I'm going to forget which edition
I don't
it is.
know. I know that it was a big deal for people who know D&D, and they were glad that they went with whatever version they went with. So I don't know, because I don't know that much about D&D, but it's one specific rule set that people liked, I guess.
Yeah. The point is, it's a D&D RPG. There's so many takeaways from this. I'm going to do the short version today because I'll be playing this game for a long time, so I will talk about it next episode. But again, I'm going to do 3 TLDRs in one episode. It's a top-down, turn-based, RPG that's straight up D&D, where like as you walk around, the game will just do like checks, like a DM would. Right?
Yes.
So say you're near a trap, it'll just do a roll for you and say...
Like little skill checks or whatever.
Yeah, it'll skill checks all over the place, which is so fun. It's like having it's just invisible DM all the time. And then there's a narrator, so they can pop in sometimes and tell you the parts of the story you should be caring about or something. And your character is silent protagonist for the most part. So you just kind of pick options, and then, it just, the other characters talk.
Silent protagonist in the sense that they don't say anything, or that you just choose dialogue, but it's not voiced.
It's not voiced, yeah.
But you do have lines of dialogue. Like your character will say something, but just in text.
This game is the most choice game ever. There is a rumored 17,000 endings.
What?
And I know that to be true because just from the level of where I'm at and what I've done in the game and where I am in the game right now with what characters and all the choices I've made, it's staggering the choices I've made in 20 hours of gameplay.
Wow.
So
okay.
This is the truest form of D&D. It's like, anything you can think, lots of things you can think you can do. Not anything, but there are limits. But I'll tell you a couple in a minute.
All right.
These kind of like things you can do in this kind of game. But yeah, you play as a character. You can huge character creator, do whatever you want, any style, any class, any race, any look. There's definitely like you can work on your genital parts.
Oh, for real? They got that too?
They got that if you want it. You don't have to, but it's there.
Okay.
And non-binary, binary, like anything you want to make your character, there it's available, right?
Okay, interesting.
And then when you finally get into the game, there are tons of characters you meet that you can be join your party, or you don't have to. There's only one character so far I think you have to have because she has a certain item. And I have so many stories, but I'll just say this. My character's barbarian, of course.
Of course. I could have told you that without even knowing it.
I know. And I'm role-playing it. Again, this is kind of a true role-playing game. True is the wrong word, but it's a most D&D role-playing game.
Okay.
Where, like, my barbarian has lots of choices, and most of the time he's like, get out of here. I don't want to hear your long yappering. I'm really role-playing him. He doesn't give a shit,
Right.
And so at some point in the very beginning, there's this girl who has to be in your party. And I actually remember hearing the developers talk about this, that you don't have to have her join you, but we're going to find a way to put her back in your party later. And so I find her, and she goes, I got this device, and there's all these darkness around me. And I'm like, no, lady, I'm out of here. Good luck with your device. So I just left her on the beach for dead. And then later, probably like 5 hours in or something, she showed up. And I was like, son of a bitch. She's like, I tracked you down. I'm like, yeah, you did. The developers did. And that's that. There's those walls, right? Like, there's a couple walls they're going to keep putting in there. But for the most part, everywhere I went, I found different people who wanted to join me. And I was like, fuck off. I'm a barbarian. I don't need you, So I didn't join it. No one's joined me, okay? But then she had to, like, because she has part of the story.
Sure.
The other real quick story is that at some point there's this huge fight in the beginning of the game, and everybody's fighting. It's a turn-based, fight, so it's like a million different little icons of who's fighting, and I was like, it was just me. And I was like, I don't want to get involved. This is gonna take forever. I'm probably gonna die. I'm level 1, so I used my action points because they put me in the fight. I just left, like I went to the left, literally, and I just let them fight it out. And I was like, they got this. So everybody died. Okay, everybody died. They just killed them each other. I walked back over and I was like, hey, look, free armor. You know, just start taking all the stuff.
Nice. Yes.
As I pick up some of the armor, and this is part of my glitch to the ground TikTok, someone in the comments said, because I put this video up, like, what? That's Will's armor. Because I saw this armor, it said Will's armor. I was like, who the fuck is Will? It's my armor now. So I put the armor on, thought I had this great job with free armor. Turns out Will's one of the main characters. He's straight up dead. And every day I walk by his corpse, and I'm like, oh, I got his armor, though. It did help early game. So that's a little taste of this game. You can do what you want. There's lots of choices. Every single dialogue has skill checks. They have choices and skill checks. If you fail something, it's still not over because you do another check. It just seems like they're really having fun with whatever you want to do. The action, again, is turn-based. There is a real-time element to it, but there's also like a even more turn-based option you can turn on.
Yeah.
There's a camp where you heal up. There is huge story points, and there's a overarching narrative, which is there's a device, and it's helping you. I'm going to say no spoilers. It's helping you curb the powers that you have and kind of help you. So that's why she has to be there with you. And then you're trying to take down and understand what's going on with your powers. That's the least thing I can say. It's endlessly fun. It's super addictive. It is. I don't want to call. People keep saying like it's a true RPG. It's just a D&D RPG. Right. Okay, that's
and
what
probably
it is.
more choice than people are used to.
Yeah, and I've always wanted that. Like I always talk about this book, which I can never remember the name of, where they talked about a fake game developer who made a game that was a lot of choice, and this feels like that game, where like you go in and you can just like, if you could think it, you can do it. Like at some point I saw a video of someone picking up like, animals and throwing them, or anything you could pick up, you can throw. And another good example is I just learned about this. If you have a particularly hard monster or boss, you can just find a bag and throw a bunch of potions and poisons and explosives in it. And the bags hold up to like 50 things or something. Mm-hmm. And then you just put the bag next to the enemy and shoot it.
And it just blows up.
And it just blows up like this atom bomb. Yeah.
That's funny.
It's just so good. I have to stop myself from talking about it now.
Well, just to give some context, I mean, this is not the first time they've done something like this. I mean, Larian has been around forever. Mm-hmm. I've played many other games. I mean, they did the Divinity series, which I think is probably a pretty close corollary to something like this.
It's straight up feels like Divinity Original Sin 3, essentially, this game feels like.
Kind of what I was expecting, kind of what I was thinking. So, I mean, I played Divinity Original Sin. I think I played Ego Draconis. I think I played even Dragon Commander. I played a bunch of their games earlier. So if you know Larian, if you know Divinity, which, I mean, all those games are pretty well celebrated, especially Original Sin and Original Sin 2. I guess that makes it not Original Sin, I suppose. But yeah, those are great. And this is like right in their wheelhouse. These are developers who've been doing a game like this for many years, and they know what to do. They've been working on it for polishing their approach and polishing their techniques for ages. So it makes sense that a game like this would be, blockbuster, amazing, and is the fruition of many, many years of work. It's not like this is their first game or anything like that. I mean, these guys have been chipping away at this style of game for a long time.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense. This is like the culmination of all their past work coming to a head right now.
Totally. And by the way, they talked about that they had to impress D&D, Wizards of the Coast or whatever, to like make the game.
Right.
Because they actually, it was like some sort of documentary watch, but they approached them after Divinity Original Sin 1, mm-hmm. and D&D was like, no, you're not ready. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then they did 2, which is obviously a better game.
Right.
And they're like, okay, you're ready now. And so like that's what it is. But I got to mention, because I played Original Sin 2, this is definitely the most fully fledged D&D though too. Because like, the dice, all the different rule sets, all the skill checks, it just feels so D&D. So
gotcha.
It's fucking cool. And again, another reason why my TikToks are doing well is because people just love this game and the weird things that can happen. Like my biggest video right now is where there's these sheep that are talking like people. I find some sheep and they go bah, and I was like, what the fuck, bro? Sheeps don't. You're a person,
Right.
And he's like, bah, bah. And obviously, spoiler, it's like goblins in disguise, and they're not sheep, but it looks like sheep. It it's just that kind of thing. Like all these little things that the game throws at you, and then all the things that you can do on top of that. It's great.
Sounds like a wonderful experience. I'm looking forward to it coming to console. I will probably definitely check this out. Looks like my kind of thing. Don't know when it's coming to console, but I'm sure probably, I'm sure before end of year they want to cash in on all the
PlayStation
hype and
is
stuff.
the end of the month.
Oh, okay. That's very soon. So that's very soon. Not long at all to wait. So excellent. I'm sure this is going to be one of the, what do you think? Like top 10 for sure, right? This year?
Top 10 for a long time. It's top 10. It's top
one
or two.
Speaking of like year end, so you're thinking like maybe top 2 for you this year?
Oh, top 2 this year. Yeah. I mean, it's a game that's never been done. Like it is a kind of game of my dreams where it's this kind of not an RPG with progression like you think of when I think of RPGs where I'm in power fantasy thing. Mm-hmm. Because, by the way, I'm like level 6 right now. I think the level cap is like 10 or something, or 12.
So it follows
maybe.
the D&D level system where like going up a level is like a huge deal.
It's a huge deal. And it's like more about like the experience and not a ton of enemies. And I kept looking for like better weapons. And I kind of had the best weapon early on. Like there wasn't too many better axes that I could get. I do 6 to 22. That's like my axe right now. That's like very good, And so it's more about like proficiencies and how you use different things together. And, I hear stories of my friends who are playing co-op, but like just wonderful combinations they're doing. Like, oh, my cleric does this and this person does this and then we all do this and then we win,
Right.
So it's more of that
adding
kind
for
of
the free form nature of a good D&D campaign, like when you have a flexible DM and you have players who are coming up with, off the book strategies or just something, they pull something out of their butt and they think might work and you got to do a roll and tries. It seems like they've kind of captured some of that spirit of like the kind of play as you go sort of thing where it's not just all prescribed.
Well, and the wonkiness and the comedy they add is really spot on. Like my friend was doing something and like everything, they shot some magic missile or something and everything turned to cats. And that was an RNG thing.
Gotcha,
because they rolled a 1 or something, like that kind of shit. Or I found a frog and of course it talked because you can like talk to almost any animal with animal handling skill, which I have as a wild barbarian. And the frog was pissed at us. We got in a fight and the frog wiped our party.
What?
Yeah. The frog was tough. It's just like that kind of shit. It just makes you want to go back into the world and go like, oh, what's going to happen? I have no idea. The last story for this episode, I just went into this creepy bar in this really like, again, Silent Hill kind of weird world that I'm in. No spoilers. And there was this bartender who was a monster kind of character, and he forced me to drink with him and tell him stories of my adventures. Here's the coolest thing. Mm-hmm. Because I'm a barbarian, I had a barbarian skill where I could keep drinking. So that helped, right?
Okay, yeah.
And I didn't get drunk or like, throw up or anything. And on top of that, the stories I told him were actual things that happened in the game.
Oh, that's cool.
That's fucking cool, bro. Like, that's the small things, And I was like, oh, yeah, this happened to me. And I was like,
little details like that really put the experience way over the top, like customized
way over
to what
top.
You did. Like, the game's able to relate to what actually happened rather than just like some bullshit stock story or something.
Yeah, I was like, I met a devil. That's a real story that happened in the game. I did meet a devil. So
that's cool.
I can't stress enough. I think the only con I'll say is that the difficulty is pretty fucking tough.
I heard it was steep. Yeah, I heard it was steep.
And so I did knock it down to adventurer or whatever. There's like 3 options. Mm-hmm. I was in the middle forever. But I knocked it down to adventurer. It doesn't matter.
Still
like
hard.
It's still fucking tough because they don't want you to like just roll this game.
Right.
But I just think they could have tweaked it a smidge. I don't know because I know they want you to be in this thing forever. And then the last con, and we really will be done, is that, and I know this is the developer choice, the game's called Baldur's Gate, right?
Yeah.
The whole idea for me, and I'm role-playing as a barbarian who doesn't give a fuck about anybody and just wants to get to Baldur's Gate. I just want to get to the fucking city, right?
You just want to get to the gate, sure.
I'm 20 hours, 25 hours in, maybe more.
Wow, okay.
I'm not even anywhere near to get to this fucking city.
Sure.
And I heard that when you get to the city, they do some bullshit about showing a title card. That might be wrong.
Oh my God. That's got to be a joke, dude. Really?
That might be wrong. But
that would be incredible.
The point is, it's like everything keeps getting in my way to get to this fucking city.
Sure.
And there's so many fun like things I've seen the developers talk about that are in this city. and I just want to get there so bad.
Can you imagine what the fucking Steam reviews would be like? Where it's like, I just went to Baldur's Gate and I got to Baldur's Gate. Oh, this game sucks. Like, I can already imagine the trolls and haters. So
that they got there too soon.
that they got there too. I got to Baldur's Gate too soon. It was like, I can imagine the shit they would put up with.
I just like the idea of like going there and then keeping the game going. I just feel like it's just weird to me that I've done everything under the sun that I won't spoil for 30 hours, and I'm not even anywhere near it yet still. So.
Well, that is how you get a person to play your game for a long time. It's not about battle passes. It's not about seasons. It's not about bonus stuff. It's about just make the fucking game. And of course, I realize that not every game can be Baldur's Gate 3. Larian is a very specific studio with resources doing a specific thing. They don't all have to be like this, but I think this experience that you're describing makes me want to play, and I can understand how you've put in 25 hours and no one's talking about a fucking season pass for this shit. Like, just make a fucking good game.
Yeah. Again, full circle again, to bring circle back into it.
It's a hoop.
Is that, that's what it is. It's a addictive game because it's just the experience of it.
Right.
And every time, I try to rush and I'm like, I just want to get to the city. I'm like brought into another story and I'm like, well, fuck, I got to save this person. Or like, this thing is about me and my character. Like I said, that bar story was about me,
Right.
And I will say this one last thing.
Okay.
This is the longest review ever.
The longest last thing we've ever had.
Yeah. Is that there is an unexpected level of platforming.
Really?
Because you can jump anywhere almost. And so if you think you're stuck somewhere, there's been many times where like they want you to go to this whole adventure, find these people, fight these monsters, and there's a boss over here. And I went like to the right. And I just jumped on the platforms and went all the way around it and didn't even do any of it.
Interesting.
And I'm
that's
like,
cool. Yeah.
That's cool too. I was like, I'm the barbarian who was role playing. I don't give a fuck about this story. I'm leaving. And so I just would like platform, and they gave me the option to hurt myself. By the way, you hurt yourself when you do tough jumps. Like, I'm going to jump down this cliff,
Oh, just like real life.
Just like real life. But I'm like, I'll lose 38 hit points and heal myself and then not deal with that bullshit. And they let me do that.
Well, there you go.
Cool as shit. We're done.
Cool. Well, that sounds great. I'm sure we will be talking about this again. I am pretty excited to check it out on console, and I'm sure this is going to be basically on everybody's, top 10 list, if not in the top 3 list for this year. So we will definitely be talking about Baldur's Gate 3. Again, you can count on that. But as for today's episode, that is the final game we are covering for this show. Oh, snap.
I know we're going long, but
surprise
here we go.
edition. What do you got?
Nope, because I've been gone for 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, you got me fired up to go play Hitman.
Oh, yeah, Hitman. Yes, Hitman 3.
And there was a collection I found. I think I texted you this, that it was Blood Money and Absolution together for like one price, like $40.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you mentioned that.
So I bought it.
Okay.
My quick fourth TLDR is Blood Money is problematic in its story.
Like, are you talking about the racial content?
Yes.
Okay.
There's some stuff they say in there that is wrong and weird and just made me feel awkward. Okay. So I don't know when that was made, but it's interesting. Oh, Blood Money was made in 2006. It's a different time. Okay.
I'll have to look it up. I don't remember, but I believe you.
I don't remember it being weird like that either, but there's things that I felt uncomfortable with. Also, not stealthy. Like the very beginning of the game is just shooting people. So I don't know where the Hitman part was. I did like a couple sniper shots, but that game wants you to just shoot people. And in a gang type setting. It's weird.
I haven't played it since 2006, so I can't say for sure, but I remembered I have played it, but boy, it's lost to the annals of memory. I don't recall anything about it. I should revisit it and see what's up with that.
Man, it's not, I don't think it's good. So I bounced off of that because I was like freaked out and weirded out. Then I just jumped into Absolution again, and I made sure that was the game I was thinking about, which is stealth with action and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if it's the game you think it is, but this game is the best Hitman game. I'm going to triple down.
It is
you
the
are wrong.
worst
Okay.
Hitman game.
Okay,
No.
you're so wrong because here's what it is. I think there's another Hitman game you're thinking of.
No, I know it's Absolution. I know what I'm talking about.
But when's the last time you played Absolution?
When it dropped. I mean, I played it when
2012.
it dropped. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just do me this favor. Can you find a code, or do you have a copy of it still?
I mean, I don't know. It might be in my Hitman 3 Battle Pass or whatever on the play. I'll have to check if I have it or not.
Because when I replayed it, I go, oh, Brad's wrong. That's right, Brad's wrong. Because it's a stealth game through and through. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, there's stealth in it. It's not straight combat. But
but it's not straight combat at all. It's a Hitman game. It's the best Hitman game. Period.
So we've
got to revisit this.
We're gonna we don't have time to do it today. But hold on 1 second. Just kill for time for a minute here.
Okay,
sing a song or something.
Well, I'll also say that there's action in it, but again, it is the most Hitman game ever. You're doing costume changes. You're doing stealth. You don't have to fight. They want you to not fight.
Got it. Here I found. So here's what I thought. I reviewed this game. I did a full written review in 2012.
Okay.
So it must have been right when it dropped.
Okay.
I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I will say that I gave it a 3.5 out of 10. So that's what I thought of it.
Insane.
If you want to check out what I
had
to
must
say,
have been on drugs, I think.
I mean, I write like 1,200 words about what I thought was wrong with it. So everybody's welcome to come check out my review.
1,200 words on drugs.
I'll send you the link, Carlos, so you can read it. You can let me know.
I'm going to read it.
Yeah, I'm tempted to read it all right now. I'm not going to read it right now.
Just very verbatim on the podcast.
Yes,
the last hour is the review.
A to Z. I am very tempted to read this, but I'm not going to do it now.
Okay, don't do it now. We'll revisit it. But I implore you to try it again because, again, it's not an action game. It's a Hitman game. I felt like I was playing Hitman 3.
I reviewed it. I gave it a 3.5. I'm always right. That's it. That's what it is. It's 3.5.
By the way, people can change, and people can change your opinion on
probably
things
2.5 now if I come back to it.
Wow.
You're going to make it lose a point, dude.
You are wildly incorrect, and I want to revisit this someday. I'm going to go look at your review.
I'm going to send you the link. You can read it.
Okay. Let's end the podcast.
All right. All right, folks. That is a show, and what a show that is. The game portion of our show is officially done. We might have a couple more non-game things to talk about. Carlos, you got anything?
Well, we should make it quick.
Kicking around? Yeah, real quick.
I'll just say quickly, I saw Corner Office. It's a great indie movie with the guy from Mad Men in it.
John Hamm?
John Hamm's in it. He's, I guess, the only A-list actor. The guy also, and there's another guy from Community's in it. I always forget his name. He's also in the... Oh, man, it's going to bother me. Anyways, a couple people that you might know are in it. It's a small indie film. I saw the trailer a long time ago. I rented it. I think it's on Amazon for $5. It's really good. It's really weird.
What's
really
it about?
Good. I don't want to tell you. It's
better to go in blind?
It's better to go in blind. It's an indie movie about a office worker who kind of sees something that's not there.
And is it like comedy, sci-fi, fantasy? What are we talking?
It's a little comedy. It's really kind of like an Office Space movie, like Office Space, but in a twisted, dark way.
Okay.
It's really good. It's short. It's really good. Also, I saw the new Spider-Man because it's out on VOD as well.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
I saw it too. What'd you think?
So I know that it's always tough with expectations. I like the first one, Spider-Man. I love that animation style. I love that studio to death.
Yes.
I was not impressed with this one. And
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and I really didn't like the ending, which is the ending's we're going to do this again. It's to be continued.
Yes.
I hated the pacing. I love the art style. I love that they did like Lego and real world stuff. They're just visually arresting and beautiful. I did not care for that story, and I did not care for the ending. And the lead up to the ending's terrible too, because it's about one Spider-Man in the multiverse of Spider-Man who doesn't like Miles Morales.
Sure.
The 2099 guy. And that's all it really becomes about. Like the last quarter of the movie is him hating Miles Morales.
Right.
And that's it. And then because he hates him, he causes some other big problem. And then it turns into being like a cliffhanger. I really was unimpressed, and I did not enjoy my time with that movie.
Wow. Well, I mean, you think I'm wrong about Hitman. I think you are extremely wrong about Spider-Man. I watched it just a couple days ago with the whole family. We all loved it. I thought it was great. I mean, I will agree. I was not expecting it to end on a cliffhanger, which I was kind of not cool with. Considering that the first Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse came out in 2018, and it is now 2023. Of course, COVID happened. There was delays, but like 5 years between movies is kind of a long time. And now that the SAG-AFTRA strike is still going on, however long it would have taken to wrap this up is going to take at least 2 extra years because of all the delays and the strike. And of course, I support SAG-AFTRA 100%. I'm just saying that, like, as a fan of this movie and this story, I want to see the story end, and it's going to be I mean, we're going to see it in what, 2028 maybe?
Oh, don't. Yeah, let's not try to.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
It's going to make us feel bad.
Yeah, but I loved it. I thought it was great. I loved the themes. I loved that they took the story in a direction I didn't think, and it got. I don't want to spoil anything, but like they covered it in a way that I wasn't expecting. There's a lot of parental themes, a lot of growing up themes, and then they touch into the Spider-Verse themes as well. I mean, I'm not going to say nothing, but I thought it was really good, and it is a middle film. It is a middle film.
Middle film. That's a good way to explain it.
As in a trilogy, right? Like, you know, you have your starting. Everybody says the middle film is always the worst one because you're like nothing major happens because you're building up to the finale, and you gotta give backstory and explain stuff for the big finish. But it's not the intro film because the intro film is exciting because they're introducing all these things and it's very, very action packed and pacey. The middle film is always the tough one, and so I think that's probably what you're feeling, probably. But I liked it a lot, though.
To kind of go full circle again, another hoop is that it could also just be a self-contained movie and be awesome. So I don't buy into that. I understand it as a middle movie thing, especially with Marvel movies, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Well, and interesting, I kind of with you in the sense that I don't think they planned it as a trilogy. I don't know what people said.
Really? We don't know.
I don't know, because you watch the first film, that's a complete film.
It is. That's why I liked it better. I really liked it.
It's a complete film, and I think that if they stopped there, that would have been fine. And I'm guessing it did bananas at the box office, did way better than they were expecting. And they're like, oh, you know, as anybody in Hollywood, well, it's got to be a trilogy at least.
Yeah, but you can do that middle movie without such a long ending that says the next movie, you know? Like, anywho.
I thought it worked. For me and what the story they're trying to tell, I thought that made sense. I liked it. So I guess we're going to Siskel Ebert on this one.
We will Siskel Ebert, but I'll kind of Siskel to your Ebert. I don't know what that means. Is that the heartfelt moment between the mom and the kid? I was like close to tears. Like, you know, tears were welling up.
That was
like,
touching.
okay.
Yeah.
And then Jason Schwartzman, I love. And
who was he in that movie?
He's the hole guy, the black hole guy.
Oh, the Spot guy.
Yeah. He's the voice actor. I could just tell. And I just like his character a lot. You know, that whole intro, again, the first quarter, even half of the movie, I really liked. So I'm not saying I didn't like it. It made me so off-putting how they ended it and how they went in that second back half.
Well, in 2028, I think we should circle back around. And I think probably that when the trilogy is complete, maybe you'll feel differently about it because you'll see like the stuff they had to do to kind of get to where they were going. But again, awkward because I don't think they initially meant it to be a trilogy. So that is problematic. Yeah.
That is the same studio that did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
I don't know.
I think it is. Can we just check? Because I took my brother and saw that.
The new one?
Yeah, the new one.
How was it?
And it was pretty good. You know, again, not like the best thing in the world, but that studio, I think it's the same people, just know how to do really interesting art style and storytelling, you know?
Yeah.
And it made me feel like, it made me feel really good at the end. Again, fully contained movie, really kind of a reboot of the series. And it just felt good. There was good representation. And I just had a good, warm feeling at the end of it. So I think it's a really good watch.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but April O'Neil in this new movie is black. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. So anybody who can't handle April O'Neil being black can go fuck themselves, because that's the only thing I heard was masturbatory fanboys who grew up with this cartoon being really mad, not only that April O'Neil was black, but she's also kind of like, I don't know, semi plus size or something. And people just like losing their minds that they don't have their wank material anymore. Spoiler, you do. You got all those pictures saved on your hard drive. Just go back and wank off to those. Don't get mad that things change. So anybody who's mad about April O'Neil can fuck themselves.
Yeah, I don't know how that's a thing. Anyways, check it out. And then lastly, Reservation Dogs is back.
Oh, I'm excited to start that, yeah.
I'm on episode 2 or 3 right now.
Are they all out or just a couple at a time? Are they doing weekly?
I know you hate that. They're weekly.
Fuck.
But no, they front-loaded it. So there's 4 out now, I think.
Oh, my God. I got to watch, because I start, and I'm going to watch all of them in a row, dude. It's
so funny. We've talked about this all the time, but especially that show, and also because I'm native, I don't know, and I'm also thinking of my dad and stuff. It is emotionally impossible.
Oh, it's heavy.
For me to do 2 of those together even. So I know you say that on the show a lot, but I want to put that out for our other listeners. I would think that this show specifically, other shows I get it, Wednesday or whatever, you know, but this show is like, it's pretty tough, and I like the idea of doing one at a time because it's about that story that it's trying to, a message it's giving you.
Right.
And I just feel like it hits harder when you just like leave it for a while.
I mean, you're 100% correct, and I think it makes sense. Everything you're saying makes sense. You want to sit with the messages. You want to let those marinate a little bit. Like, totally makes sense. And at the same time, I love that show so much. I just want more of it. So
you just want to eat it up. Yep.
I do. I love that show. It's one of the best shows ever to be on TV for sure. Anything else?
Nope. For you?
Nothing much. I've been really busy. My mother and father-in-law were here. I know that I texted you. We talked about it a little bit, and that took up my entire life. I'm still recovering. I don't even know what to even say about it, except for the fact that they are very nice people, and we are very different people. We have very different views on life. We have very different views on everything, and when they're here, it basically just sucks up all of our energy and our time, and I'm just going to leave it right there. So now that they're gone, I am still in recovery mode. I didn't really watch anything else other than I've been on a Pacific Rim kick lately. So the son and I watched Pacific Rim Uprising, which was the second feature film. I remember not liking it very much, but we were kind of just like going through all of the different media associated with Pacific Rim. And we're like, well, we've only seen it once. Let's watch it again. Maybe we'll feel differently about it on a second viewing. And I mean, it's okay. It's pretty mid. It's pretty just like, something about the animation wasn't great. The Jaegers, the giant robots, they're moving too quickly. They don't look like they weigh 1,000 tons. They don't, I like them being kind of stocky and clunky and having that kind of like, I don't know, like not necessarily a Rock'em Sock'em Robots vibe, but just like, you don't want it to look like a big person wearing metal armor. Like you want it to look like a giant machine, and they captured that really effectively in the first Pacific Rim, and I think they lost that quality. They're just running around. They just look like people in armor kind of, and doing acrobatics and slow-mo leaping through the air, and I'm like, that's not really what Giant Robots is about. Not in this sense anyway, maybe in a different anime property or something, but yeah, it was just like whatever, and the robots get shredded pretty easily, and the monsters are kind of like whatever, blah, 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 blah. I mean, whatever. I've seen worse. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but I think the first Pacific Rim like blows it away, and it's I don't know. It's a thing. It's a thing I watched for 2 hours, I guess. So
Jeez. Okay, you can't say worse, really. It's a thing.
It's a thing that happened to me for 2 hours. So I mean, not the worst thing, but whatever. Okay. Anyway, that is a show, folks. As always, we want your questions. We want your comments. Hit us up. SoVideoGamesPodcast@gmail.com. You can also hit us up individually. Carlos, where are we directing your traffic this week?
I've said it 4 times in the show, but Glitch Through the Ground, that's the new channel. It's on TikTok and it's on YouTube. Check it out for specifically tons of Baldur's Gate videos.
All right, great. As for me, again, on every platform, but I think in the most recent weeks, it's kind of boiled down to Twitter still, even though that's kind of weird and sad and limping along. A little bit more.
I have to say something about Twitter.
Yeah, go ahead.
And we're not going to call it the other name.
I'm not going to call it the other name. No, I refuse.
I went today to log in, just normally. And anybody listening is probably this is probably going to explode after this podcast.
Oh, no.
Because it's probably already happening to people right now. And it hasn't happened to you, and if it might. But anyways, it said, we have to decide if you're a human or not.
I haven't had that happen yet, no.
Okay. It might be blowing up right now. It's an authentication thing.
Okay.
What a beautiful episode. We're going back to hoops.
Hoops. Okay.
Because it makes you pick, at least for me, it says which one of these is just one rope and not 2 ropes. I've never had to do this one before.
That's a new one for me. I've never seen
hard at times because they're twisting the rope. And so it looks like hoops, really.
Are you an android, Carlos?
I might be the robot.
Did you just get outed as being an android?
Check this out, though, dude. It goes 1 out of 5 or something like that, right? You get to 5, it goes 6 out of 20.
What?
6 out of 20? Fuck you, dude. And then I failed it. Okay, so I failed it. So I am a robot, right?
Shit.
Hold on.
Carlos, if there's a turtle on its back, do you flip it over?
Wait, is that a robot question?
It's from Blade Runner.
Oh, that's right.
You're a replicant.
What's the answer? I would flip it over.
You're supposed to flip it over. Like, the question is like, why don't you flip it over? And if you get upset, that means you're a human because you're supposed to feel something for the turtle. And the replicants are like, I don't know. I just didn't flip it over because they don't feel any empathy for it, right?
Yeah, I would be upset. I have to.
Okay, I would be. I'm already upset talking about it.
But I still might be a robot because guess what? I did it a second time. I failed again.
Oh my god!
I can't get into Twitter.
Oh my god!
Because I'm a robot because I can't figure out ropes.
Holy shit, dude! This is the discovery.
I knew I had to tell you that because you
the most advanced AI is in Carlos Rodella.
Or the other takeaway is, fuck that dude, and I really don't want to be on the platform, and now I can't be. I can't be on the platform.
Since we're talking about this, that is stupid. That is stupid. No.
It's going to blow up too. Watch. After the show, everyone's going to be like, have you done the rope thing?
The rope thing. I'm going to watch. It hasn't happened, but I'm going to watch. But for, the other thing I was going to say was this morning or yesterday. So, the bullshit. I don't know who challenged who, but Zuckerberg over at Facebook was challenging Musk over at Twitter to a cage match. You remember that?
To actually fight, yeah.
Literally.
It might still happen.
Well, so Musk just called it off. He's like, oh, well, I'm busy. I got an appointment. And what he asked was, hey, can we do a practice round in your backyard with no one watching? And Zuckerberg fuck both these guys, all right? They're both trash, all right? But I think it's hilarious that Musk is talking all this shit. Zuckerberg fucking calls him out on it. And Musk completely, he backs out, right? Zuckerberg is like, I called the place, I called the time, I gave you all these options, I had the referee, all you had to do was show up. And he's like, yeah, I can't show up, and blah, 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 blah. So whatever. I mean, the guy's already human trash, both of them, but Musk is, fuck that guy. And the fact that he starts this shit, starts talking all this trash, and then doesn't show up, give me a fucking break, dude. He's destroying his own already dead reputation with a nuclear bomb. It just gets worse and worse for that shithead.
It does get worse and worse. I'm never going to let this episode end because I just read the last paragraph of your review.
You did, yes.
I can multitask.
Go ahead. I forget what it said.
I would imagine that the goal of Hitman Absolution was to take Agent 47's detailed, methodical gameplay and make it appeal to players more familiar with modern action stealth hybrids. But all the devs have done is eviscerate, a strong word, their unique franchise with poorly implemented mechanics and left him to die an awkward, humiliating death. I love that sentence.
That's a good closing.
I love it, but it's wrong. Okay. And the other thing is the beginning of that paragraph, it says, while there are a few sequences that thrill the way a proper hitman should, and you give 6 examples, blah, blah, blah. These brief glimpses of 47's predatory roots are outnumbered by the other type segments. But you're saying that there are Hitman stuff in that game.
Oh, sure. But they're outnumbered 3-1 by kludgy segments about duck walking towards an exit.
Duck walking. Does that mean stealth walking? I don't
know.
No,
it means you're crouched down, walking, you're...
That sounds like stealth. Sounds like a Hitman.
Kind of, but no. I'm going to revisit this. Okay. Everybody read my review if you want to.
What you're saying, and what I'm hearing from this paragraph, is that there's still Hitman in it, but not enough for you. Yeah. And at that moment, which is 2012, because you were really high on how it was before. And again, this comes back to expectations.
And how it goes back to being right after this.
Because what?
They go back to normal Hitman after this. This is the odd man out.
Right, but I'm saying it might not be as odd as you remember because of the time that it happened. Okay, maybe. You got to revisit the game.
But I gave it a 3.5.
It's such a wrong score.
Locked in. Okay. Anyway, what are we talking about? I totally get sidetracked.
We're done.
The end. The done.
I don't think you have anything else, right?
Do we close it? I think that's it.
Yeah, because you talk about your shows.
Okay. Anyway. Right. I'm on. We got super sidetracked. I'm on Twitter still. Lessening, but still. I'm also on Blue Sky a little bit more. And I'm on Instagram.
Gonna be. I'm not on there yet. I can't. It's up. What's it called?
I thought you were already on. You're not on it yet?
No, because what's invitation still.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll hook you up. I don't know that I have an extra code, but if I have one, I'll shoot it your way.
How do I not have a code? I've been on the internet.
I thought you was already on it, dude.
No.
Okay. Stupid. Anyway. And I'm also on Instagram, mostly just action figures there. But anyway, that's going to do it for episode 349, the episode that never ended. Thank you again for joining us here on the Videogames podcast. And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week, but we'll probably still talking because it's the podcast is hanging in the ether.
We'll just pause and just unpause for the next episode. It'll be one continuous podcast.
Okay, and pause.